But the reality is this. We're here for a reason. Jon Jones is finally making his heavyweight debut. And there's a lot to it, right? Because, okay, I got to admit, I knew this, so it didn't surprise me as much as everyone else because he's not fighting Francis. A couple weeks ago, we did the fights that we look forward to the most. I thought Jon versus Francis was the biggest and my most anticipated fight because of the dangers that Francis Ngannou presents to Jon Jones with the power and everything. But let's not go crazy here and act as if Jon Jones has not seen power before. He's seen power. Nothing like the power of Ngannou. But I believe that what he has now may be a more difficult style matchup in Ciryl Gane. Hate that Francis is gone. Love that Jones is at heavyweight. Love that it's against Ciryl Gane also. Hate that Stipe Miocic has somehow gotten lost in the whole mix of all this. And I understand through conversations in the backside how hard the Francis Ngannou deal was tried to get done. I mean, options were exhausted.
We offered Francis a deal that would have made him the highest paid heavyweight in the history of the company. More than Lesnar, more than anybody. And he turned the deal down. We're going to release him from his contract. We're going to give up our right to match. And he can go wherever he wants and do whatever he wants.
Ngannou deal couldn't get done because Francis Ngannou has an idea of what he wants to do and what his value is. And when I listen to Francis, it's not like Francis is saying anything that's absurd, right? He's a guy that's willing to take a chance on himself. The only reason this is so different is because we've never seen anything like this. I guess Randy Couture left at the height of his stardom. But for Francis to leave as the reigning heavyweight champion is very different situation. Something we're not accustomed to seeing. But that leaves us with Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane for the heavyweight championship role. Now let me ask you this. Isn't it ironic? Isn't it a bit ironic, guys, that Jon Jones is fighting for a vacant championship? I mean, do you guys remember when I went through, when I won the belt? No, it's different, right? Jon hasn't fought Francis before. But isn't it ironic that he's in this situation now? My advice to you, Jon, is if you win the fight, get thick skin. Because people will be unrelenting. Right now, because Francis left, it's almost like Francis avoided Jones. That's not true. Francis would have fought Jon Jones on any day of the week. Let's not get crazy, fans. Fans always come up with these ideas. But trust me, Jones, it's going to flip to, is he the real champion because he didn't beat Francis Ngannou if you win that fight against Ciryl Gane? Which, by the way, is not guaranteed because Ciryl Gane is as good as they come. I honestly believe that this matchup is a much better matchup for us as fans because technically you have two guys that are going to be as skilled as we have ever seen in the heavyweight division.
Dana White sits down. Dana White says, Ciryl Jones, undisputed championship in March. And he gets up and he walks away. If he said nothing else but that, Ciryl against Jones, undisputed title, right? Just in that, we are now going to know Francis was stripped. We're going to know the negotiation that has played out in front of our eyes for a year was unfruitful. But we're also going to know that we got a big problem with Stipe Miocic. We're going to know that we got a big middle finger put into the face of Curtis Blades. And that's where the real interest of this is. I mean, one fight that you guys have never called for. One fight that was not being sought after and asked for. And please don't be the jerk that goes, I asked for that, Chael. Go check my Twitter account. Come on, you know what I'm saying here. Broad stroke. We as an industry have never called for Ciryl versus Jon Jones. Never, not once. We never heard rumors of it. We never speculated around it. That just wasn't the dance to be done. We had a round robin going with three guys. Jones, Stipe, Francis. Those three guys have gotten up in the loft and pulled the rope up behind them so nobody else can get there. And they've done this for over a year. And no heavyweight has broken through, but no heavyweight has attempted to break through. No heavyweight got rumors or reports or headlines that they were going to interrupt that little three-way. So it's a very big deal that we're now got Ciryl and Jones. Not just because we stripped Francis, not because Francis is going to move on, What does it say about Stipe? And I'm asking you guys that question. You're not going to have an answer for me. You're going to have a guess. One thing Stipe doesn't do a great job of is communicating with us. We, the community, don't really know what his temperature is at all times. Stipe had told us, and one of the last things that he's told us, is that he was going to put on 20 pounds. And it's really relevant because it's a really good story. Like Stipe versus Francis trilogy, that's an awesome storyline.